Peace, and blessings, everybody. Hopefully, I can allow a couple of y'all to get in here first um, before really getting into the subject that I want to talk about. Hopefully, sorry about all my notifications going off. Probably should have cut that off before I decided to go live. Um, let's see. If there's a way I can cut that off. Probably not, since I'm already live. Um, so let me see. Peace and blessings, everybody. Come on in, come on in. Make sure you like and share the video so that we can overcome YouTube's algorithms. Make sure you like and share the video. I won't be on here long, but I had to come and share this with you all. Like and share the video. Like and share the video. Let me see if I can put this in the comments. This okay. Um, okay. I'm gonna have to see if I can put this in the comments later. All right, it's a couple of y'all in here now. Let me go ahead and get started. So, y'all know I've come on live a couple of times to discuss something that's really been I would say, like, bothering my spirit. And I wanted to talk today. So I don't know how many of you all are also like Facebook friends of mine, but I shared this on my Facebook page. It was actually shared from another page of a job description for the U.S. Army hiring for what's called internment camp specialists. I don't know why I'm laughing because I don't know why I'm smiling because it's really not funny. I think that's like a defense mechanism for me or something because when I read the job description, I'm like, let me go to the website to confirm this. Like, what? You know what I mean? And the fact that they would call it that, internment camps. And so it makes one wonder, where are the internment camps? Are they in the US? Are they abroad? Why do they have all these job postings? I'm gonna try to post a link in the comment. Let me know. I still I got to learn YouTube's live because this was Facebook, I would be able to post a comment. Sorry about that. I'm still learning this, but anyway, thanks for y'all being in the building today. So share and like the video so that we can beat YouTube's algorithms. But if you're watching, you can just go to the Army's website. It's goarmy.com, I believe. I actually have the link. If you're Facebook friends of mine, you might see it on my Facebook page. Um, but to me, everything is connected. Nothing is coincidental from my perspective. And I can just say, you know, for people who are spiritualists, you'll get it. But my spirit ain't been right ever since all of this stuff kind of popped off with um, the pandemic and especially the handling of the pandemic. We're seeing more and more forced vaccinations of people not being able to travel as much as possible, or people not being able to go even interstate. I also shared that on my Facebook page where the Biden administration, and you might be able to Google this for yourself, but the Biden administration have discussed whether or not they would allow interstate travel if you have not been vaccinated. And real quickly, I think what's more concerning to me is that, Black people have always sort of been the conscious when it comes to liberation and freedom in this country and abroad. And the level of silence, I would say, from mainstream Black people, especially those who work in organizing and those who work in so-called social justice spaces, there's been a level of silence around this consolidation of power of government that even I'm surprised about. You know what I mean? Because some of these people are people that I actually respected in the movement. I'm seeing people change politics in front of my eyes. I'm seeing Black people, of all people, trust the fucking government. And it's amazing because some of these people like talk a lot of stuff. They talk real big boy stuff, but are acquiescing around a lot of these things, and or they're just silent about it. And to me that's really concerning, because again, for people who are paying attention, I have said on this channel, I have invited people to be my guests on this channel to watch and read what comes out of the World Economic Forum. And what I have found is that a lot of us, as Black people, don't necessarily know what the World Economic Forum is. A lot of us didn't even know it exists. And if I'm honest with you, I didn't know it existed before a year ago, quite honestly, because it's something that you don't hear necessarily in the media. Now, I know that the mainstream media is certainly an arm of the state, and that the mainstream media has several corporations, six to be exact. And so you have to be careful what you have to basically use discernment. That's what I'll say. Use discernment. And again, spiritualists, if you're watching the spiritualists know what that means. Hell, even if you're a Christian, you know what that means. Um, but having a discerning spirit is of the highest order at this moment, people. And I'm coming to talk to Black people specifically is because I love us. Um, I am really concerned about a number of things. Economics is number one. So I listen to a lot of, I might have shared with you all on this channel, but I listen to a lot of economic finance media. Hi from Washington State. Welcome. Um, and hello, the jab has changed and maybe so. But I listen to a lot of economic media. I would encourage you to do that as well. So I listen to something called Kitco News. They have a YouTube channel. I listen to something called CoinDesk. They have a YouTube channel. And I also just recently started listening to Robert Kiyosaki. He's a Japanese businessman and also author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, whatever you think politically about Rich Dad, Poor Dad, I've not read that book. But what I think is interesting is his predictions economically and him talking about the economy. You don't hear the truth in the media. And one of the things that he's been warning about is what's called quantitative easing, which basically is a fancy name for printing money. So the United States has been printing a lot of money since COVID, or since the pandemic. They've been printing a lot of money. And so for some macro economists, they believe that that is a recipe for disaster. And he has predicted, among other economics, or other finance people have predicted that this is going to be one of the biggest bubbles in U.S. history, probably worse than what it was in 1929, um, when the economy just goes to shit, basically. And I'm talking about this because I care about us. Because anytime like shit goes bad, Black people always get it the worst. You know what I mean? And I want to say that this is a time that if you got beef with other Black people, even especially family, everybody needs to be squashing their beefs. I feel like tears are about to come because this is not a time for division, y'all. We're gonna need to lean on each other more and more over this next decade. At least more than any time in my lifetime, and I'm 40 years old. If you got beef with other Black people, squash it and do your best to make amends. Um, the level of bartering that we're probably gonna have to do with each other, we're gonna have to come together and take care of each other. Hmm. Just learn from the ancestors, y'all. We have got to. Oh, Ice Age Farmer. Okay, he covers what's going on. That's the other thing. There's predictions that there's going to be food shortages. I have been hearing the predictions on the food shortages since last year, and you can kind of see it trickling a little bit. So I don't know if like any of y'all been going into restaurants, but they got signs of "We apologize," but some things we don't have in order because of supplier issues and all of these different things. Like they're slow walking it. You know what I'm saying? So having your own garden. I just think that this is a time for us to get very serious. It's not about conspiracy theories, it's about discernment. You know what I mean? It's about seeing what's really real, you know what I mean? And what's really happening when it comes to the economy, when it comes to the signals. You know what I mean? That's what Robert Kiyosaki talks about a lot. He said there are signals that let you know when a crash is coming. And he's been talking about this potential crash when it comes to the stock market and other parts of the economy. He's been talking about that, I want to say maybe for the last six months. Exactly. Prepping is necessary, but a lot of people, they laughing now because when you try to talk to them about this stuff, people still think it's a game. It is not a game, and this is a time where we need to be coming together more. To me, more than any time in my lifetime. And shit has been bad in the last 40 years. You know what I mean? People who are 40 and up, we've lived through some pretty significant changes. You know what I'm saying? From the dot-com bubble of the 1999 to 2000, of course, the 2008 economic crash, and even before then, if you black, you dealt with cracked out cities in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So we've dealt with a lot. This though, everything about my spirit tells me is going to be very different. It's going to be very different. It's going to be something that people who come to this country for everything that they think is good and well, that they're surprised at the fact that that this country will end up being like countries that they call themselves fleeing from. You know what I mean? Robert Kiyosaki has said some things to that nature as well. The other thing that he said, in order to protect your assets, for those of you all who have any assets, most black people don't really have a lot when it comes to that, is taking your money out of the fiat currency system and buying gold and silver. And he even went so far to say to buy gold and silver that's not traceable. He even said that you need to be stocking up on bullets that are not traceable. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm saying this because you're not hearing this in the mainstream media. And whoever this video can get out to, which I hope you all are liking and sharing the video to get more people in here to listen to it. I think more now more than ever, we need to be connecting with people of like minds. Somebody said doomsday prepping. I hate to say it like that, but that it is what it is. But making sure that you have non-perishable foods, just stocking up on basic necessities the best that you can, because I don't know why the Army is hiring for internment camps, but that ain't good, in my opinion. The Army has several positions on its website hiring for internment camps. This country has put people in internment camps before, and that was only 50, maybe 60 years ago. It was the Japanese. Why don't we ever learn from history? There's probably people listening to this or will listen to this to be like, oh, that's so crazy. They would never do that to their own citizens. What part of the history class did you miss? Or they didn't teach it? We have so much evidence of what this government is capable of. Because they already know when shit hit the fan and people don't have what they need, their basic needs, that's when shit get real. That's the violence that you see in Black communities all the time. Is a lot of it is about not having access to their basic needs, and the reaction to that. We don't necessarily talk about it like that. We usually pathologize other Black people as being inherently criminal. It's not about inherent criminality, right? It's about being in communities that have been divested in ever since we've been here. Being in communities that have never been fully funded, have never been given full access to opportunity. And those of us as Black people who have figured out a way to quote unquote make it in America, a lot of us have bad health too. And it's not just because of what we eat or what we're not eating. It's the stress and the cortisol levels that is clogging up our arteries that go to our heart, clogging up our arteries in our brains. That's creating aneurysms. You know how many young people I know, 40 somethings, have heart attacks? Black people having heart attacks and aneurysms? Yeah, because we done made it and we working so hard in this system. You know what I mean? Literally working ourselves to death just to make it. So I'm gonna figure out how to post in the comments here. I'm probably gonna have to post it when I finally end this live. But you can go to goarmy.com. You'll see it. You'll see it. They're hiring for internment camps. And I'm not saying this to be bombastic or, ooh, you know, we're going to be rounded up pretty soon. I listen, I don't know. But my thing is I'm going to use discernment. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit up and wait, right? If I see something like that, I'm going to use discernment. You know, of course, the media is not covering the fact that the Army is hiring for internment camps. I might even go to the Marines website to see what they're doing, what they hiring for, right? When this economy, my theory is when this economy finally do blow up, 300 million people in the United States, is that it? What else they gonna do with all these people? They can't get to the 80% vaccinated. They trying everything under the book and still hovering at 50.7%. They've hit their threshold because the rest of the people, so the 50, and I'm not trying to be offensive. If you taking the vaccine, that's fine. You made a personal decision for yourself. That's fine. I'm not making fun of anybody. But that 50.7%, those were the people that took the vaccine because they trusted, they believe that it's going to help prevent whatever it says. They believed in the honesty of the CDC and the honesty of the president and others who have come out and lobbied for it. Hey, listen, I'm not here to make fun of you. You know what I'm saying? I actually feel sorry for people like that because you trust in people thinking that they wouldn't do something so crazy and evil, right? I get it. The problem is that they're having a hard time getting to the 80%. The president and others have said that 80% of the American population have been what their goal is to get vaccinated. They're gonna have to go to some pretty draconian levels to get to that 80%, y'all. Yes, the great reset is here, Agenda 21. I'm glad somebody commented and said that because so many people are getting their YouTube channel taken, you know, getting flagged for calling it out, for telling the truth. That's exactly what's happening. And I would encourage anyone, again, read for yourself. I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm only here again because I love my people. And I see that even other influencers aren't really talking about this. People who have a large platform aren't really talking about this. And Agenda 2030, that's another one. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Constanza, I believe. Yes. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. And so these internment camps, I'm just wondering where they are because they sure got the job description out there where they need staff to staff these internment camps. Are the internment camps in the United States? Are they abroad? Who knows, right? I'm saying look into it yourself. You don't have to like believe me or believe other people who are commenting here. Use discernment. Every I want to say all of us have an intuition. I hope we do. Don't ignore your intuition. That's all I will say. And I will tell you that my intuition has been vexed ever since the beginning of this pandemic. I couldn't put two and two together. I couldn't really explain what I was feeling, but something was telling me something is not on the up and up about all of this shit. The shutting down of people's businesses and all of that, that never sat right with me. That never sat right with me. Shutting down small businesses, all of that stuff, that just 40% of Black owned small businesses are gone. I think there's one in Montana. FEMA map shows a breakdown of the regions of the country. Thank you, Ann. I have some really good people in the comments. Thank y'all. This is amazing. But yeah, thank y'all for being here. I actually have to hop off now. I have a couple more minutes I have to get to a work meeting, but love on your family, love on your friends. Try not to be divisive and getting into beefs with people, because the reason why I'm saying is because if you notice on the media, they're constantly driving division. Let this be the last thing that I tell you all. Strive for unity. And this is going to sound crazy, coming from me, but strive for a common understanding, even from people who don't look like you, even from people who don't necessarily think like you. As human beings and as living people that have not, been injected or whatever with whatever that is in that vaccine or whatever, we are going to have to lean on each other and trust each other. We're going to have to. We're going to have to there's more of us than it is of them. So they're depending on us to be divided and to eat each other alive, basically. They're dependent on that. So the last thing that I think I want to leave with you all, especially is Black people. I know there's others that watch this video too, and I welcome you to share your thoughts and everything. I want to see unity within us and also with others as well. Um, I'll make another video talking specifically about that, because I also see how, and this is going to sound crazy for a lot of Pan-Africanists that's watching this, but I also see how the media is weaponizing white supremacy and white supremacists to drive division. Poor white people in West Virginia carrying a Confederate flag is not necessarily our enemy. The people who control the resources are the enemy. And there's a lot of white folks that do that, but they also have their Black and other people of color, right? Let's strive for unity, y'all. Let's make sure that we're not allowing the media to tell us how to interact with each other. Solidarity, yes, and unity. That's what I want to leave you all with. I hope you all appreciated me coming on really quickly. I'll probably start to do more of these because I have to speak when the Spirit tells me to. And I was driving back home and I was like, I need to go live and talk about this Army hiring the internment camp. So thank you all for being here. Make sure you share the video and invite others to be in community with us. Thank you.